Devin, early on, we talk about formations and tactics and all these different things, and Mike Noonan made a point to saying that, every team that Clemson has played, they've done something different. Their opponent has shown something different to them than they have on film or that historically about them. When you look at Syracuse, what are you watching early on in their matchup here?
We want to see, first off, if the tendencies are still there, which usually they are. You're getting close to the midway point of the season. The DNA of a team has already been established. But given everything that's going on around you, can you go on the road? It's the national title holders. They're unbeaten. Can you still be the same person and true to yourself as well as within the team? That's very difficult to do. And I want to see if the lineup is actually going to be similar, because there was a pretty decent amount of cat and mouse going back and forth between these two squads in general, yet alone the fact that now you've got some COVID protocols going on for Clemson Tigers.
Ball pings around in the box. Eventually Adam Lundegaard's able to get it out. And you mentioned some of the key guys missing for the Clemson Tigers. We talked about Silla already, who leads the ACC, tied for first in points in the ACC. Hamady Diop is also a second-team All-ACC player. He's been out since the second game of the season, nursing a hamstring injury. Derek Wolof, the All-Ivy League transfer from Brown, he is out as well with COVID protocols, as is Nathan Richmond, an attacker that comes off the bench. His father was part of that 87 championship team, national championship team that's being honored here today. But Dad's not going to see Nathan play today. Unfortunately, due to COVID protocols, he will not be available either. Johnson now with room in front of him. Nicely read by Titus Sandy Jr. Comes over to clear it out.
If you remember, I said to you, we sat here first game of the season against the Hoosiers of Indiana, Todd Yeagley, and I said to you, just keep an eye on the back line because of Hamady Diop. He was the most important piece because you lost all three other defenders and you lost your goalkeeper. Now all of a sudden, that stingy back line that was last year, that ran over into the beginning of this season, they're all gone. You have no one remaining from the national title holders that were last year, at least within the defensive unit. That's even more of an emphasis that you're now putting on that attacking side, even in the absence of Usan Silla.
And they have been good despite the transition and guys moving in and out on that back line and changing goalkeepers. Trevor Mannion at times has gotten his fourth start. Joseph Adema has gotten 3 starts, the freshman as well. They still are third in the goals against average in the ACC at 0.6 a game. Is that more about the back line or a little bit the fact that their offense can just dominate games?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. It's also some of that systematic success. One of the great things that Mike Noonan has instituted into this program. Now, I understand he's been here for quite some time now. It's no different than what a professional team does, and I'm talking the English Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, and that's across the season. We're talking about some of the best teams in the world and the leagues in the world, is that no matter who's out, the next man up has to be able to step in, and you have to be able to fill that void without overly disrupting the flow of the overall unit itself, and that's what he's been able to do. So last year we saw it. Reed stepped up when Say wasn't available. Usman Silla got better as the year went on. They always had an answer last year. This is really the first time on the attacking front that they're going to be challenged, where guys that haven't been at the top of the class have to poke their head out against this defensive front of Syracuse.
Yeah, Mike Noonan in his 13th year here knows how they get things done. We said to him before the game, so what are you going to do with all these changes? He said, we're going to do what we do. Sounded like he had a little flavor to him. We're going to do what we do, baby.
He's got that little spice to him, doesn't he?
Spice to him. I like that.
A little bit of confidence.
But why not? They're the reigning national champs. They've been to the national championship game twice under his tutelage. They're back in 2015. They actually beat the Syracuse team in the College Cup in the semifinals to get to the final. Beat him in pens. Joey Skinner, the transfer from UNCG, tried to play an early ball to Say, deflects to the feet of Russell Shealy, redshirt senior, Maryland transfer, minding the goal for Ian McIntyre in his 13th season as Syracuse head coach. As I mentioned, the 2015 College Cup appearance. 2014 was the ACC Coach of the Year. They found a #1 ranking that year. Been to 7 NCAA tournament appearances, but have not been there since 2019. He's got this crew started in the right direction. Syracuse unranked for the season start, now 5-0-1 with 2 ranked wins as Elton Chifamba went down hard. And Chifamba, the sophomore from Ohio, gets up, and there's no card brandish, just a foul.
One of the great things about what has happened to this team is that they've asked people to play different roles. Elton Chifamba was primarily coming off the bench last season because Alvaro Gomez sat underneath in that holding midfielder 6 type role. But as they've developed, lost some players, added some more depth through the offseason. That's freshmen coming in, that's transfers. He is now the one who just sits in that pocket right in the midfield. And the way that this team plays down is so interesting to me because you hear 4-3-3, right? A lot of times you think about a triangle. There's 1 on the bottom, 2 in front. But the way that Clemson plays is unpredictable. They play flat, they push themselves high in the attack, they'll sit 3 deep. They challenge you in a lot of different looks. And so when you're going into tape, it's hard to find out exactly where to attack because they show you so many different things, and the variables that are at play are outside of tendencies. There's no real pattern to it.
Deflection shot, Mannion, big save! It fell to the feet of Giorgio Krzyzewski, and he tattooed it, but Mannion was equal to the task.
Watch the run that he establishes coming back out of the middle. Look at the peel, and it's off the deflection. Krzyzewski, as he brings this is one of the twinks that you get with Noah Singleman stepping to the inside. He's not at the wingback spot. He likes to attack to the interior, though. They've started him here tonight, and that's the real look they're trying to do. Create separation, that speed that he can get to the top of the 18 to go 1v1.
Outswinging ball. Comes to Johnson. He'll play it back into the mixer. Deflected. Header off the bars. Off the bar. But the flag went up. Syracuse testing, asking questions early.
Coming into this game, Mike Noonan said that almost every single one of our opponents has done something different. They've showed us a different look than what we've seen all season long, and that's why you're getting these chances right now. Whether it's Krzyzewski pushing forward, Noah Singleman, or the chance right at the top of the 18 as you get a real good look at what Trevor Mannion's dealing with. They have tweaked themselves.
And you see Mannion, I mean, old school keepers used to wear the hats. Nobody does that anymore. He's got his hand in his face, above his face the entire time the ball is in play, trying to see as Tristan DeLoach is dispossessed. DeLoach only his 4th appearance for Clemson, the sophomore. Reed, gets loose. Plays out to Gomez, captain to captain. Gomez waiting for the overlap. Low ball driven, and Reed's there, and it's lights the lamp! 1-0! We said he's got to step up! His 3rd goal of the campaign, and dance on him, son!
You may get a different look on one side, but this is eerily similar to what this team always produces. The changes, watch Isaiah Reed. Look how deep he's going to come within the attack. It's not Usman Sila, but that's not too bad. Look at the hold-up play, nice little turn, and then the run, the pause. That hesitation right there at the top of the 18 is why he's wide open. 7 yards from goal. He pauses the run, the back line continues to step off. That's on Schuberg. You have to be able to step in there and recognize you can't allow this player wide open. This was an emphasis in video review last night. I said right there with the entire team, they broke down one of the goals that came from the UNC Asheville game. That looks just like it. The difference is it's Isaiah Reed instead of Parrish sitting up top.
Big time finish there, and this is only the 2nd goal Cuse has conceded all season. The other one to Vermont in a 1-1 draw up in Burlington, Vermont. And now this is exactly where Ian McIntyre said to me before the game. Everybody's got a plan, very much like Mike Tyson. Everybody's got a plan unless you get punched in the face. He said, unless we get bloodied early, we might have to change that. Well, we are less than 10 minutes into this match, and the #1 team in the nation is up 1-0. Reed applying pressure to booster Sjoberg. Over Oyegunle, deflects off of him, and Clemson trying to get a quick restart. Abdi Salim, the senior, clears it out. That was a great ball from Sean Smart, the freshman, as well. His first career point for Clemson at a big time in their 2nd ACC game of the season.
You know, we talked about the tactical breakdown coming in and the difference between the 2 outside backs that are available for Mike Noonan, the Clemson Tigers. Sean Smart in the lineup tonight. Freshman, 6th appearance on the season, part of the U17 national team pool for good reason. Great distribution coming up, but he's tentative in his actions. You can see if you watch him play, he doesn't press the issue. He's very clean, as opposed to Enrique Montana, who he goes high. He gets really, really high into the attack, and that is something that we've seen historically from Clemson a ton. Justin Malou, of course, the last one to fill that void.
Singleman looking to play it in, drives it off of Gomez for a corner. And that sun that Mannion's looking in is still there. It's slowly going down, but still present. Second corner of the match for the Orange.
Would you wear the hat? I'd wear the hat.
I'm a practical person. I mean, it doesn't look the best, but I'd probably wear the hat. In swinging ball. There's Mannion. Falls to Johnson. Oh, acres of space. Shot of Anthony Sinclair. Stymied by Mannion. 2 saves early in this match. Joey Sinclair and Joey Skinner and Monte Johnson getting tangled up there. Be careful. Don't foul anybody away from the ball in the box. Oh, you gun lay down to Salim. Quick touch there from Christian Curdy. Gomez head up. He's got options ahead of him. Decides to play smart. Smart looking for Deloach in the channel. Dinks it over the top, but Schoberg is there. Skinner looking long and to no avail. And when Clemson scores first, they've had some success. 125, 8-8 under Mike Noonan.
It's called high score. Cheat code. 125, 8-8. I can't even count that high.
And it does help to be here at historic Riggs Field. They have quite the home field advantage here. Second in the U.S. in attendance last season. He's 96, 30, and 15 in this building. In recent years, it has been hard to win here. The Orange Wall all standing, the student section. And making their voice heard.
Speak French, apparently.
Exactly. Very well, too. Kashevsky pings it out to Singleman. Schoberg on it. Senior Wofford transfer from her all-SoCon team. This pass a little too much on it. Say pulls wide. He's on the ball. Got the overlap from Skinner. Levante Johnson, you're forward all the way back defending. Skinner gets away from him, and it'll just go to the hands of Sheely. Last year, the highlight of Syracuse's season really was beating the Clemson team up in Central New York, 2-0. Knocked off a then 6th-ranked team in the nation, being Clemson. And 11 guys that are here right now for Syracuse played in that game. A number of them starting right now. Does that help at all? That kind of institutional knowledge?
100%. You've achieved a mountaintop, right? Once you've summited it, you know that you're capable of doing it again. When there's the fear of the unknown, that, oh, we got to go on the road again, or, oh, we've never been able to beat these guys, that seed of doubt starts to grow and get worse as time goes on. But the fact that the last time you towed the line, you were capable of getting a positive result is certainly sitting with a lot of these players. Now, the difference is that there are plenty of the guys who weren't on that field last year.
Mm-hmm. Nice flick on, opportunity to get end line, cut back. Opoku, good turn, good touch. Still on it, but defended well by Lundegaard. Full slate of ACC men's soccer action tonight. All 12 teams in action. Duke and Carolina right now, 1-1. Early down in Chapel Hill. In Durham, pardon me. Pinged over the top to Curdy. He's looking for Johnson. Sinclair on it. Costa Rican Youth International. Played at the U17 World Cup. Number 5 in gray. Captained that squad, actually, for Costa Rica.
A fun little exchange with him about that last night. It was one of the first years I started calling games. I called that game.
Oh, really?
One of his group games, anyway.
That's cool.
Who would have thought? I'm a microphone in a dream, and we're back together, right? He's got to play a different role tonight, though. Number 5, Anthony Sinclair from the Syracuse Orange. The way that they've situated themselves, Christian Curti, who is an out-and-out right side back. They've played them into a back four. Now they're giving him the freedom to push up high, and he's done it. But it changes the roles in front of him. Sinclair is usually side by side with Krzyzewski. That's not the case.
Played in back post. Oh, an opportunity there for Salim.
One of the major emphasis, not only what the tactical idea would be, but it was restarts. You and I are driving here together, so they were big on restarts last night in their walkthrough today. Finding a way to isolate some of the mismatches. Of course, Opoku and Johnson up top, the ability to get them going. I still like the idea, and it's going to fade here in a second. Take advantage of the sun again. You probably got a couple minutes left. Ping balls in, absolutely. Mess with the goalkeeper's eyesight. Let Mother Nature do its work.
She's doing her thing. I'm a bozo. I looked over to see how far down it was. Now I can't really see. I tell you, don't look at the sun. Smart on the ball. Finds the goal scorer Reed, who leaves a foot and takes the foul from Oyagunle.
Their attack it's very different. The Clemson Tigers with Usman Sila being out. Isaiah Reed coming to the right side is nothing new, but it's with Brandon Parrish coming to the left. Still operating within the midfield. Tristan Deloche, it's basically like the two of them trying to find a way to mimic the same movements. It certainly put them on the ball enough.
Gomez plays it in, off the head of Skinner and just wide. Flag went up though. Wouldn't have mattered, but the transfer from UNCG almost got his first goal wearing a Clemson jersey.
There's a ton of transfers on the field tonight for both teams, and it's become an integral part of the collegiate game.
In every sport.
Yeah, to be fair, in every sport. But really, in the footballing world, it's only taken shape in the past couple of seasons. The identification process and finding a way to get these guys into the mix.
Played over the top. Mannion off his line. Johnson's got it. But back covering. Oh, geez, still loose. Oh, what a mistake. It could be an opportunity. And it is. Somehow, Syracuse scores off of that. And it's Giorgio Krzyzewski. Johnny on the spot, and we are back knotted at 1. A comedy of errors for the Clemson team, allowing Krzyzewski to have that goal.
Only 2 teams have started ahead of the Tigers this season. The Indiana Hoosiers, the first game of the year, on the massive mistake coming off the back line, and now this. Now, this is a great job to get around, but the problem is you're coming square back in, it's communication. That has to be better in that situation from Joey Skinner and Lindegaard on the back line. You don't have Diop back there. You have to have someone who steps in and takes control, giving it right back to Krzyzewski. And how bright that he is to stand on this, bring it back across the body. 9 times out of 10, a player in that situation is trying to poke it away. He keeps his calm, squares up the shoulders, and makes him pay for his first of the season.
He really didn't rush it. He took his time there, and there were bodies in the mix there. Well done by Krzyzewski, to say the least. And
how are you clearing that ball off like that? Why are you clearing that ball when there's the two of you who have let it go that far and you're communicating? Just that thing could have run over the end line.
I know.
Yet alone the fact that you've cleared it directly into your own man and basically said, here you go, boys, you're right back in the match.
You're a center back. How should that have gone down? Should Lundergaard just called him off and one guy handled it? Because they were just so close together.
I go back to the Diop argument. Within a defensive unit, there is always one who is the person that sort of supersedes everyone and takes over. Now, communication is always the most important thing. I'll give him that. But in that situation, Diop stepping through, he drives through his own player, and that ball goes anywhere but in the back of the net. I've had one of my players kick right through me in order to get the ball out.
Sinclair gets the ball out there. Now, to be fair, it's maybe a chance for Say. He's battling, and well done by Salim to get it back to Sheely. Syracuse's performance in this match has been very good. They've created the lion's share of the opportunities. It's not like they're hard done being 1-1. It's just how they scored that goal was unexpected.
They're always going to be a counter-attacking team, especially against the way that Mike Noonan's teams like to play. They want the ball on the deck. They want to control the tempo. They want to make you shift as much as possible. So Syracuse doing a good job sitting behind it. I'm a little concerned with this space down underneath, just on either side of the shoulder of Anthony Sinclair, because he doesn't have that running mate. But the good news is they're operating in front. Immediately as they win the ball, and I said this to you coming in, they're driving forward. They are putting the pressure on the Clemson Tigers, so a lot of the defensive shape is actually coming in a negative sense. You're having to chase as opposed to being set up and have the game in front of you.
Johnson, the Seattle transfer, over to Sinclair. Little pocket of space for Johnson, combining. He'll get a shot, deflects, Mannion's on it. Let's tell you about Sunday Best this week. 3 really strong early season matchups in each sport. Miami hosts number 20 Oregon in women's volleyball, noon Eastern here on ACC Network. Then we have field hockey matchup between number 13 St. Joe's, number 9 UVA, and cap the night off on the pitch with the women. Wake Forest takes on North Carolina State. All 3 right here on ACCN and the ESPN app, as always. Mohamed Say trying to get more into this game. Lays it off to Deloach. Still Deloach. Finds Gomez. Not quite. Good recovery.
The recovery wasn't just from Syracuse. Levante Johnson on the far side of the field. See the space that's available just to the backside of our picture? That ball goes down into the corner. You're in trouble. Instead, that's your striker coming all the way back. I said that they run 4 deep, being able to score the goals. That was a good opportunity to help remove.
Reed looking back post. Shealy gets a hands to it. Not strong, but goes out for another corner. Third corner of the match for the Tigers. Alvaro Gomez trots over to take it. Mike Noonan praising his performances all year this year. Been so solid in the midfield. His 33rd career start here. 58th appearance. Senior from Toledo, Spain. Low ball played in. Skips through the mixer and it's in. No, it's not. I thought it was going in the net and somehow almost cleared off by Say.
Well, this clicks off the post on the backside. How does it get through? I mean, you missed the header. There's a little deflection. Kiss of death.
Oh.
Say's right there. Reed almost has a double.
Wow.
You can say whatever you want about the missed header. I still put that on the goalkeeper. Ball can't come square across like that. Through the 6. And it is one area that watching. He's a good goalkeeper, Russell Shealy. I'll give him that. And he is part of the transfer unit. That's a Maryland guy initially. He was Dane St. Clair's backup in that national title run that they had in 2018. And then only 5 appearances in 2019. And I like him as a shot stopper. He's definitely got enough communication. His height is a little bit of a concern. But for me, it's the presence within the box. I got to see more out of him. That's a good situation. We saw another ball that was floated the back post. He hesitated on. When you've got this many chances coming your way, you are the one who is solely in charge of everything in front of you. I made the argument for Diop for Clemson on one side. He's the guy because he's the returner, right? He's the one who stepped in on the back line and said, okay, everybody follow me because I've been here. If you're Shealy on the road, you've got to be more clear there. And if he misses, you got to step up in and punch it away.
Chifamba to take the free kick. Finds Gomez to Reed. Reed to Say. Say gives it a shot off the post again! The second time in as many minutes. Syracuse trying to get on the counter. Opoku back to Sinclair. Heavy touch. Say's able to poke it away. Oh, well done by the goal scorer, Krzyzewski. Steps through, plays Johnson in the channel. Johnson, nice move. Gets end line. Good cross. Deflection looked dangerous. Looked like a handball, not called. Doesn't matter. Brandon Paris wheels out of there. It was called eventually by Kevin Morrison and pulled back.
Handball called against the Orange.
Fool me twice. I mean, how does this one sit? Look at that angle. Mohamed Say does everything, gets himself separation at the top, outside of the foot. Not that far off from the Well, he scored against the Hoosiers game 1.
What a ball over the top to Reed. He's 1v1. He wins that battle, but Shealy then drops it out for a corner. It's a great switch of play by Brandon Parrish to find Reed in stride.
Confidence, though, and it's a booster as well, because watch the ball coming right up over the top. This diagonal, it's beautiful. Reed has done a lot on the interior. This side, he stays calm, keeps the width of the team as he stays out. Look at the space within the box itself. I don't mind the 1v1. Most importantly, you're giving yourself a chance, but on the backside, you've got runners with you. You don't want to isolate your chances when you get in behind the Syracuse team.
In swinging ball. Smart to keep it in. He's just going to dink it back toward the mixer, but I don't think Deloach is going to bring this down. He's not. So we cross to 7:30 Eastern here. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff from historic Riggs Field. Top 16 matchup, week 2 of men's soccer in the ACC. We're already knotted up at ones. It's gotten started fast. Isaiah Reed in the 8th minute scored for the Tigers, and then Giorgio Krzyzewski equalized in the 18th minute, and that's where we stand right now. 20 minutes to go in the first half. Between these two teams, we knew it would be an entertaining game. What is your take of the first 25? There's been a lot in it.
Confused. Why? And here's why. You've got a tactical switch by Syracuse, which, although they're certainly providing themselves some chances, how much of it is because of the tactical side and how much of it is just the belief that they can get it done? Because I'm pretty sure the way that they're playing right now, it's not that far off, because you're still pushing Christian Curdy really high. They're basically playing in a 3-back. The difference is on the inside, because you've pushed Noah Singleman in there. So can you maintain that throughout the length of the game? That's the real question for them, because it's fading a little bit right now. And specifically, we said coming in, can you create it for Sila? No, but they've done it with Deloach and Parrish and Gomez, all of them intertweaking their movements to basically make them look like Usman Sila. They're creating chances, there's good width play. It's almost gone away from the 3, and they've stacked the midfield. They let Chifamba operate underneath, then a flat line of 3, and any one of them can pinch off, and as they go, the other 2 sit and help out defensively.
And you heard Devin mention Usman Sila not available, out due to COVID protocols, second team All-ACC. Performer tied for first in the ACC in points per game. Derek Wallop, the All-Ivy League transfer from Brown, who has been a starter in every game this season in the midfield, he's out as well. Same reason. Hamidi Diop has been out since game 2. Second team All-ACC performer, one of the best ball-playing center backs in the country. A lot of guys missing, but the Clemson Tigers have a next man up approach, as to most teams in the ACC, because they're so deep at talent. And Mannion's able to get it off his foot. Nicely flicked on by Parrish to Skinner. Johnson doing a lot of defensive work, 14 in gray. Usually a striker, but he's working back a lot. Salim looking long. Finding the head of Titus Sandy Jr. May fall to the feet of Johnson. No, well read by Lundegaard. And we did mention the sun being a factor. The sun is now down, and lights are coming on here at historic Riggs Field. That's going to help Trevor Mannion, who was dealing with the sun. Clemson keeper the first 25 minutes. Good feet by Byros, but dispossessed. Johnson. Oh, mags him. Got space, plays it back. Almost an own goal as Sandy got his leg on it. Deflected awkwardly, and still the Orange are asking so many questions of this Tigers back line.
You catch the post twice on the other end, so you're lucky there. And how's this little bounce? Forgot something. Whoops. Christmas has come early. I still look at the runs. He's trying to pick out Byros, who's come really to that near post run, but there's so many players for Syracuse in the box.
Ooh, Byros to the outswinger. Nice job by Titus to get up and head it. There's some activity in the middle of the box. Bodies are down. Ball was in a dangerous area. Quick restart. Gomez offside.
Let's be clear here. This game is very even in terms of goals, and I mean, obviously opportunities for Syracuse have been better, but the ball movement pretty good for Clemson in specific areas. But I can remember having a conversation with you last year. We were going through kind of the who's and what's and nots of what the ACC looked like. And I remember saying, you said to me, well, what about Clemson? I said, they're 7 games into the season. They haven't played anybody, right?
Yeah.
We're 6 games in. They've really only played one team. It was Indiana week 1. With all due respect to everybody else on their schedule, you're supposed to beat the teams that you beat. The difference is, look at all the injuries they've had to maneuver. So now all of a sudden, you're up against someone who, what is the question mark here? You're missing a ton of players. Can you maintain? And right now, they're having trouble with it.
Anthony Sinclair, Mike Noonan wants a card there. Sinclair's been a bit of a repeat offender with some pretty heavy challenges. Take a look at this one as Parrish goes in and just kind of cleared out late. Mike Noonan a gripe there. This is the second time Sinclair's really laid somebody out. Should that be a Crowder defense or no?
Persistent infringement is right around the corner. We can leave it at that.
Okay. Nice job by Smart to beat Byros. But right at the leg of Sinclair. Chifamba early ball. Falls back to Smart somehow again. Reed on it. Tried to skip it over the top.
Well done.
Smart. Singleman driving forward into space. Plays Byros. He'll give it a rip. It'll be high. Let's get you caught up on the goals here so far. 1-1, 14:31 to go, Dev.
Well, it certainly wasn't a bad start whatsoever for Clemson Tigers. Wash, rinse, repeat. The way that they attack, it's outside in. It's finding a way to maximize the spaces within the midfield. They certainly did that. Isaiah Reed gets on the score sheet, and then, yeah, it's a blunder. Just a terrible situation playing out of the back. Miscommunicated between Skinner and Lindegaard, and instead Kashevsky stepped right up, calm as you could be. The step on it, bringing it back across 10 minutes later to tie the game up.
And there's your scoring summary. A couple subs to get you caught up on here for Cuse. Kurt Kalov, the sophomore from New Jersey, comes in. Top Drawer Soccer ranked him as one of the top 100 freshmen last year. He's working himself back to full health. He'll be patrolling the middle of the field 7 in gray and 11 in gray. Lorenzo Baselli, the Italian native, got his first goal in the 5-0 drubbing of UConn. Senior is in there now as well. Shoulder to shoulder with Parrish, goes in hard, and that's a foul. And welcome to the match, Baselli. I want to say it like he did when he just pronounced. I mean, he really laid it on us. Lorenzo Baselli.
Yeah.
But I can't. I shouldn't.
I'm waiting for Sunday.
He sounded
dinner,
great.
Some sauce on the table, right?
You know, if I had to do that, I'd have to do the whole game in an Italian accent. I'm not sure that's going to work. I don't know.
You gonna hang out with the French section over there? They were spewing it out earlier.
They are spewing out some French. The Orange Wall, the student section. They have some choice words for Kevin Morrison, the official. Clemson's preparing a couple subs themselves. Again, their depth will be tested, missing some key players. And those subs will be made now. You see Tim Strobeck coming in, number 7, the sophomore from Sweden. Grew up in a good club there, Hasselholm. Had actually a Serie C offer. That's the 3rd division in Italy. Chose to come play here at Clemson instead. And Marco Garcia, the freshman from Italy. He's in the mix as well. Number 26. Garcia replacing Deloach. Again, that's without Silla. We're going deep into the bench here for Clemson. Only Garcia's 3rd appearance of the season here. Played up to Poku. Still a Poku. Still a Poku. Oh! I thought that was destined for goal, given how well that run was pulled off. Whoa.
I was getting ready to rip him to shreds for not giving the ball up.
I saw you.
And look at all the players around him. A little 5-yard touch to your right. You step on, you got an overlapping run to the left. There's another player 7 yards to your right. Instead, target practice.
There wasn't even a courtesy dive for Trevor Mannion. He wasn't touching that thing if that was about another foot to the left. That was in the top corner. Perfectly placed, but in the end, just wide. And a clash of heads. This is no good. As Say and Salim are down hard. Ahmed Say, the senior from Valencia, Spain, has dealt with injury issues throughout his career. When he's fully healthy, as he is now, he's a handful. 2 goals, 4 assists on the campaign. And Salim is still down. Senior from Buffalo, New York. Buffalo State transfer. Worked himself back to full health after an injury last spring.
That was the Sunyak Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, and he's an interesting one. He started off the season as the starting right back for this team and been trying to work himself back into it. Christian Kurti has taken over in his stead, but now they're both on the field together. The way that they're rotating with Brandon Parrish coming over to the left-hand side against Salim and Christian Kurti's done well in one-on-one situations.
Friday night, we got some football here. We got some football in Death Valley. Saturday night here as well. Louisiana Tech against Clemson. That's rounding out a quadruple header on ACC Network tomorrow. It starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. Wofford taking on Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech coming off that big win against BC. And a couple games sandwiched in between there. Again, a quadruple header here on ACC Network or the ESPN app. Watch it anywhere, anytime. And Tim Strobeck trying to make his presence felt right away. And Schoberg goes in high and hard and gets a piece of the ball. It's a little Sweden versus Sweden battle there. 4th corner of the match. And Gomez trots over to take it. These corners have been a bit of an adventure for the Orange. One hit the post.
One way to put it.
Smart's able to step up on it. Still Smart. Oh, what a shot! Oh, he almost had the curler into the corner. A freshman from Florida, a Montverde product, showing a high-level skill there. And there's a sub for the Tigers as the ball was played in prematurely. Dylan Sullivan checking in, senior from Wappingers Falls, New York. Getting himself in the match for Alvaro Gomez. Sullivan is the brother of Tyler Adams, the captain from the U.S. team. And take a look at this corner here, and Sean Smart's shot.
There's one thing you want to keep an eye on. All 11 in the box for Syracuse, so they had no way to play out of it. Last night when I was sitting with them and they were going through film session, a big talking point was make sure we have a way to get out of trouble. And that's one where you win the header within the box. The second 50-50 is yours, but you have nowhere to go. You've got to have a way to be a stepping stone to get off that back line and start to apply the pressure going the other way.
Smart losing out on that battle a little bit, and then he gets it out for a corner.
Corner for Syracuse.
He certainly can defend a little bit, can't he? That's a lot of speed, too, coming at you from boys on the front line. Kirk Kaloff.
Smart trial with a bunch of MLS teams. We already mentioned his US U17 national team experiences. Ball played in, headed out by Skinner. And Parrish kind of feinted at it, didn't go make a play on it. Clip back in, a Poku can't get his head on it. Schoberg lashes it wide. This looks eerily similar to the Notre Dame game where Syracuse dominated that game. One after another, could not score minus the 1 goal, and they won 1-0, but they controlled that game. 22 shots in that one.
What did I say to you, too, that the difference between the two teams is we've seen Clemson beat teams, and we've seen Syracuse win games, and there's a big difference within that. If you want to be the opposing factor that takes it and goes, I'm going to take my will and impose it on you, you got to find a way to close out these chances, especially, remember, on the road at historic Riggs Field. I've never seen this many opportunities, and my recent memory going back to last year, even the season before, where so many point-blank chances available right in front of goal.
9 shots for Syracuse on the match. 4 for Clemson. Yeah, I really can't recall a game where Clemson has allowed this many opportunities. Again, credit to the Orange that have generated a ton of chances. But you do rue the day when you don't take those chances. Remember, the one goal they had was off a horrific mistake by Clemson.
Positive side of it, it's going to be great on film review when they're making fun of Schoberg for the sitter 8 yards out. And you're on the back line for a reason, buddy. Don't worry, I've had to make that walk by myself as well. It gets better eventually. You bury one, and then you're everybody's best friend again.
Absolutely. Was it John Stones yesterday for City? Or was it the Champions League? Holy moly, what a cracker that was from 25 yards. Got them tied up with Dortmund. They won the match 2-1. Pinged out to Strobeck, excuse me. Played a little behind Sullivan. He has to check his run to come back and get it. Marco Garcia couldn't handle it. Nice ball played through. Parrish's clearance leaves a little bit to be desired. Held in still. As Francesco Pagano checked in the game, now the focal point of the attack, 28 in gray. Oh, a lot of contact, and Kevin Morrison actually called a foul on Strobeck before the ball went out.
You got to watch this, though, for a player coming back from injury, trying to work his way into the lineup. Abdi Salim, he's having trouble right now with Tim Strobeck. Ton of speed for the sophomore at his disposal, and you notice as he gets going, that high-end gear, he's a level above everybody else. A couple of times we've seen the ball out in front of him. The only reason he's not able to get to this one is because of the physical domination that was the defender.
Chivamba. All done by Garcia. Strobeck. Took too much time on it, and well done by Curdy. Nicely done by Sandy to read it. And then pass, though, was a little bit off. Pagano lays it off. Save Mannion. Good job by Baselli to run onto it, put it on frame, and tested Mannion.
Wants a bit more help from his back line here, but the hesitation by the goalkeeper is perfect because there's so much space on the back post run. Watch as it opens up. He's got to maintain coverage here, especially with the inconsistency we've seen at his head defenders. One at the top of the box, one on the back post. You got to hold the runner, and the ball carrier does it to perfection on that save.
Kalov, high ball played in and contact to the back post.
That's the other thing. A lot of people, if you're not entrenched in this game and didn't play it, you don't pick up some of the subtleties sometimes, and that's one for Mannion, where if he overcommits to the near post, all of a sudden that ball can come to the backside real easy, and there's no way you're getting back across. So what he does is he cheats a little bit, sort of makes the striker question as to what is the goalkeeper going to do. So instead he holds himself, he holds the back post run, and then you make the guy on the ball commit to what he wants to do, but you've covered both avenues. Because defensively, you're allowing your guys to get back by helping to hold that run. And on the near post, the most dangerous, you still provide yourself the luxury of getting there first.
And a little bit of contact there from Say as he tried to run that one down. But that's why you have a job. You actually give us the insights that we don't see. So that there you go, bud. Well done. Yeah.
It's your job. I'm a person in general. Me.
No,
okay.
the analyst. You nailed it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the hell you're talking about half the time. It's perfect. Nice layoff by Say. Oh, a lot of contact there. Garcia goes down hard. Oyagunle will or will not end up in the book. It does not look like he will. No cards yet issued in this match. And Mike Noonan hot again.
Well, as you drop everybody back in, it seems like it's a free-for-all going forward, and the problem is there's a mismatch numerically, always in favor of Syracuse. It's 4v3s, 3v2s. They've set themselves up, and these diagonals are what they're going to be real careful of. That's the area I'd like to see more from when it comes to Clemson. They've done a really good job of getting off the back line. They're almost bypassing their midfield. It's because of the amount of pressure that's coming high. So you're doing a good job getting through the initial point of contact. The problem is, though, is that the second one, your three strikers are in a mismatch. So defensively, it's not set up. Step on the ball, ping it the other direction because there's a ton of space there. Allow your outside backs to get involved in the attack. We haven't seen Sean Smart high on the right, nor Joey Sinner coming to help out at all. It's just been the three strikers, really.
Tyler Trimnell just checked in the game for Mohamed Say. Trimnell got his first career goal last match in their 2-0 win against UAB. Their second goal of the game, put it away. Trimnell 17 in orange, top of your screen. Trimnell tried to hold up. He did enough for Garcia to get on it. Parrish stepping into space. Kicked away from him by Sinclair. Chifumba. Lundegaard. He tries to switch the play to Smart.
There's your touch.
Yeah. Pretty. Lundegaard heads it back to Titus Sandy Jr. 45 to go in the half. He'll look long for Trimnell. And Trimnell said he clipped Schoberg and be a foul. Crowd don't like it.
Ten,
10-9 countdown here. Just your thoughts on the first half there, Deb.
When the lineup from Syracuse was put forth in front of us, never thought that they were going to play the way that they did, and they've been brilliant at it. They're changing the formation, taking one of your biggest assets in Noah Singleman, sticking him on the interior. The way that they wanted to attack, they have done almost everything to an absolute T outside of the opening goal. And for Clemson, just surprised that it's had to go so direct with some of the guys up top, and they haven't been able to step on the ball as much as they'd like to.
All right, now we're going to bring in Coach Noonan. Coach, thank you for your time. Outside of the goal, that was a
gritty. The guys stayed in it. They got a good goal, and unfortunately gave away one.
Coach, how do you change the pressure going forward to allow yourself to have options on the attacking side? It seems like a lot of the ball's coming out. You guys are bypassing that initial line, but a lot of times it's one-offs and you're just running downhill. You don't have enough support.
Yeah, for sure. We may change a little bit in the attacking part of the team going into the half.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
1-1 at the break. It's been a great first 45, but there are 5 other games going on in the ACC. When we come back, highlights will whip you around the best conference in college soccer. Second 45, Kevin Morrison, the official, blows the whistle. And here we go. 10 shots on goal for the Orange in the first, 10 shots, in the first half to 4 from Clemson. And a lot of them were gilt-edged opportunities, not capitalized on. We'll see if they can do that in the second half, or will Clemson be able to turn the screws. Back to Schoberg. Isaiah Reed, the goal scorer, chests it down, but dispossesses Alvaro Gomez. Levante Johnson. Early ball played in, almost got to the feet of Byros. Anthony Sinclair on it. Byros turns it over. Just heard Coach McIntyre say, can't turn it over. In dangerous spots, they're tough in transition. Here we go. Strobeck is wide. Plays it first time to Parrish. Parrish slides in, keeps possession. Strobeck battling. Oyegunle wins that battle. Well done. Parrish tricky on the ball. Hits the...
From our angle, actually thought that he created contact, but that's a well-timed tackle. He doesn't obstruct the defender whatsoever. Notice in those situations as well, Down, even if you don't get to it, you're still prohibiting them from coming out quickly off the back line, which is what Syracuse was so good at in the first half.
Ahmed Say lays it off to Gomez. Pinged out wide to Skinner. Joey Skinner, a little fancy footwork, a couple step overs, can't get end line, dispossessed by Curdy. Sinclair with the big switch to Noah Singelman, German native. Little 1-2. Skinner read it. Johnson wins the battle, though. He's got some room. Still Johnson skips past the defender. 1v1. It's in the back of the net, and the Orange are up 2-1. What a finish from Levante Johnson, scoring in back-to-back matches to give him a 2-1 lead.
You always wonder when you look at the rosters coming in, why coaches do what they do. This is a transfer who started at Salt Lake Community College, then went to Seattle. It's a little bit different playing in the ACC, but with 20 goals and 18 assists to your name and 40 appearances, this is why. It's physicality, it's one-on-one, and for the second time, Adam Lundegaard just gets turned all around. Flat-footed for the center back. You gotta push him to the end line here. Instead, you square your hips up. You allow the attacker to dictate any which way that he wants to go, and he makes you pay.
And Johnson, his third goal of the campaign, the Brampton, Ontario native. You mentioned the Seattle transfer. Last year, he had a 9-goal, 8-assist campaign for Seattle. Got them to a NCAA tournament. They lost in the first round eventually in a game that he scored in, but making his presence felt. Byros trying to play Singelman. He gets it to him. And Lundegaard is over there to kick it wide. Opoku lays it off for Byros. They'll give it a ride right in the arms of Mannion. I actually saw Trevor Mannion's father earlier in the day here, and he said hello and said, I love when you call my son's name. I said, ironically, I don't think you want me to call your son's name. That's not a good thing. And I've said his name a lot. He's made some big saves today.
The center backs and goalkeepers, right?
Yeah.
It's nice to be not noticed.
Exactly. Be anonymous. That's a good thing for the squad. So what do you want to see from Clemson here as a response to going down 2-1?
Well, I asked for it at the end of the second half. I wanted more of a representation from the two outside backs. You're at least getting it from one. We've seen Joey Skinner come really high on the left-hand side. And you know, one of the things that I look at for this defensive front, I talked about tendencies and how the systematic success carries itself from one regime to the next in terms of the classes coming through. What this team has done for the past 4 years, everything has been about the right-hand flank. Getting your outside right back high, dropping down into a 3, and they're doing it differently. They're pivoting to the left-hand side now.
Early ball played in. Byros wide open on the back stick. He had his hand up. They got it to him. He lays it off to Singelman. First time shot. Field goal good.
As that happens, your body naturally, and this is with anything. It's the way you eat at a dinner table, right? The way that you hold a glass of water. You naturally start to shift a certain way within your movements. That's the same thing here. So as the ball starts to go another direction, that tendency that used to be there has stayed within your thought process, but you're clued in a different direction. So as you start to turn one way, it's going the opposite way. So what you're missing here is just no fluidity at all.
We'll come back to that in a second, because Kevin Morrison's probably going to brandish a flag for Booster Schoberg, and he just did there. That is the first flag, a card, wrong football, of the match for the senior, the Wofford transfer from Uppsala, Sweden.
You've also eliminated some of your midfield play, and so it comes direct, and it's coming up over the top. This time, Tim Stroback trying to get on the end of it. I mentioned that too. We talked to Noonan about it. When you guys are getting away from the pressure that Syracuse is throwing at you, a lot of times not only is it a numbers game that they're losing, but it's the actual support or lack thereof that they don't have. So even if Stroback gets on the end of that ball, he's got no help at all. Yeah. He receives it, and then you're looking around, which means the game slows down, and now you allow Syracuse to recover faster, which has been their bread and butter all game.
Trying to lay it off to Reed, trying to combine with Say, trying to combine with him. Johnson lets it roll across his body and just pass a little too much on it. Say settles, turns. The big fella cleared out. And he's going to draw a free kick in a dangerous area.
And within some of the movement that's changed, Alvaro Gomez has come higher. You're trying to play into the feet of Mohamed Say a bit more if you can, but again, provide him options underneath. Good hold-up play by him.
This would be Hamidi Diop territory right now. Diop has been out since the second game of the season. Second team All-League player. Usman Silla, Derek Wolof, Nathan Richmond all out tonight because of COVID protocols. Those are two starters. And Silla may be the most dynamic player in the country. First in the ACC in points. So they're playing a little hindered, but that doesn't matter right now. Have an opportunity here. Gomez looks likely, but Parrish is lingering around. Go for goal here or put it across? What do you think?
Just keep an eye with the runners. I mean, they've been known in the past from dead ball situations to be a little bit more fun with the dark arts, but if you're this close, haven't had a lot of chances, I'm going right at it.
Lundegaard looks unmarked on the back stick. Gomez shot in right to the hands of Shealy. He'll hit the deck.
Doesn't matter how many times you hit these after practice on the training ground. Special moments from special players, and certainly escapes Gomez in that situation. So Shealy right at him. Doesn't have to deal with the sun that his counterpart Mannion did in the first half.
Beautiful night in Clemson here. Mid-70s. As Joey Skinner loses that battle. Early ball played in. Oh! Titus Sandy cleared it out, but always scary when you're running back towards your goal as a center back clearing.
Not every game is going to be super pretty either, Dallin. You're not always going to be the best team on the field. You got to find a way to persevere through, and it seems like this game is going that direction. Twice hit the post. You've got the blunder coming out of the back again. Now that deflection that almost ends up in the back. Just keep talking, keep pushing.
Pyro's outswinging ball. Climbed high. Was Salim.
And on the other side of that, it's good. You're up 2-1. You're on the road. All of that has gone in your favor. You've only got that one goal cushion. This game could be 4-1, right? The chances that really, they had Syracuse, in the first half, I mentioned the two posts. There's been Schoberg, 10 yards out, couldn't put it on target. Don't let this team hang around if you're Syracuse. This is one where when you look back, step on it, right? Let's put the pedal to the metal. Go find a third. Go find a fourth. Show why you're special in these situations. Don't let this Tigers team hang around, because they will eventually find a way to get back in it.
So many chances created by this Orange team as Say is run down by Sinclair, and now he'll have another free kick. Opportunity to put the ball in the box. And Mike Noonan asking again, because Sinclair has repeated infringement. He is right there on a yellow card right now. Thoughts? I mean, has he done enough to earn one?
I'm booking him there.
Yeah.
Only because of what went on in the first half.
He cleared out two different guys at different times. Still remains unbooked. Gomez to put it in. Good ball played in. Flick on, and Skinner just wide. Eerily similar to the first half, where he had a little flick on header that went just wide on a dead ball set piece from about the same angle.
Well, watch all the guys from Syracuse, hands in the air. They just stop because they expect the offside flag to be raised in this situation. It's a dangerous ball. Floated in. They've got a decent argument on the first step. Everybody else, no. The question is whether or not Joey Skinner jumped to the gun a little bit early. No VAR for that.
No VAR is right. If that had gone to the back of the net, it would have stood. And Parrish comes up, wins that battle with Singleman. His pass, though, off. Oh, Strobeck, good quick feet, taken out by Singleman. Gomez, a lot of space. Flicked over the top, Parrish runs it down. Tennessee product, former two-time Gatorade State Player of the Year. Trying to work, Sean Smart. Very effective, the freshman in this game. Gets in line, good cut back, it's still loose. Reed gets a shot, big save by Sheely. Ball played back in the mixer, flag stayed down. It looked like Smart was offside. Reed can't run onto it, and Sheely's going to come out and win that battle. A lot of goal mouth action in this match.
We talked about it in the first half, some of the balls that he didn't attack when there were so many bodies in front of him, dead ball situations. But I said to you, he's an out-and-out shot stopper. There's no question about that. That's a real good look at what Russell Sheely's capable of. Just a three-step coming off his line, makes himself big, close down the near post. You can't ask for much more in your goalkeeper in that situation.
Crowd trying to urge their squad forward here. What have you seen through the first 12 minutes, other than the orange goal? What else we got?
Appreciate that, by the way.
Thank you. I'm Captain Obvious.
Well, Mike Noonan said that they needed to change some things going forward. They've done it, and what they've done is in two spots. One is in the midfield. Chifamba was by himself a lot. Now you're starting to see more of Brandon Parrish off the right shoulder, still stepping high. But Gomez, it's basically an out-and-out 10 just to the left a little bit. And Mohamed Say coming really deep. They're trying to create a two-man connection. So as I mentioned, when you play high, you still have a target man. But now all of a sudden you've got a running mate to play around each other in combination to get by the Syracuse defensive front.
Kurt Kalov checks in for Colin Byros. And Isaiah Reed, the goal scorer, is going to get a little bit of the bench here. As Tyler Trimnell checks back in, 17 in orange. Mentioned Trimnell before, got his first career goal in the last match to win over UAB. And the flag is up. Trimnell just a little eager.
Offside, called against the Tigers.
The other thing you get out of this, Dallin, is as Mohamed Say comes in, it's great now that you've got a friend to play with right on the inside. The 2 points up top. And before it was Isaiah Reed, now Tyler Trimnell, and then on the other side, Tim Strobeck. They're staying really wide. So what that forces the back line to do is it creates separation within their ranks. The idea being we can go direct, get ourselves into 1v1s, which we've seen the speed be the advantage of the Tigers in those situations. And if you can't go there, now you do have the underplay, which all of a sudden those trailing runs where you get out of Brandon Parrish or Alvaro Gomez coming right up through the middle are available.
Oh, what a touch by Opoku. 1v1 opportunity to make it 3-1. Mannion, another big save. Curdy can't believe it. 4th save of the match for Mannion.
The scout coming in. I said to you, I sat with them last night. They said drive at the center backs. When we're outside and you've created separation, find a way to come right down the middle. Outside run, Christian Curdy. He's really one of the wild cards within this game. You'd like him to come to the left a bit further. It's all about pace. And another good save from Trevor Mannion.
Out-swinging ball. Opoku's touch to get it to Curdy was just flawless. Gomez, a little dip of the shoulder, and yeah, that's probably going to be a tactical foul there. And no, Kevin Morrison not brandishing many cards here today. Thought the break was on.
You get an idea why Opoku has 4 assists to his name, though. He's unselfish.
Yeah.
Right? The unpredictability that was that hesitation back across in the first half, almost scored a worldie to the upper 90. And then you expect him to be the one-on-one guy who's going to go be the aggressor. Instead, he lays it off.
Pass left way short. Sean Smart picked it off and may have an opportunity as they move forward. Mentioned Opoku, the young man born in Accra, Ghana, has a point in every single match. I mean, he has been influential, to say the least. Brandon Parrish's pass a little too hot. And Trimnell comes down awkwardly for a goal kick. Trimnell saying it came off of a gun lay. He ain't going to win that battle. And Elton Chifamba down, going to need some treatment as he gets that as we cross under 30 minutes here. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff, historic Riggs Field. 2-1 between a top 16 matchup. The road team, the Syracuse Orange, winning right now. Clemson started the scoring in the 8th minute by Isaiah Reed. Put them up 1-0 in the 8th minute. Back came Cuse. Giorgio Krzyzewski scores in the 18th minute. And then in the 51st minute, Syracuse took the lead as Chifamba still stays on the ground. Under Mike Noonan, who's now looking as player, Clemson is 125, 8-8 when they score first. Currently down 2-1 after lighting the lamp first. And again, this Clemson team is shorthanded, missing key players, Ousmane Sylla, Hamady Diop, Derek Waffle in particular. And now Chifamba, who anchors that midfield, heads to the sideline. And you see those guys, young men that are out. Levante Johnson's 48-minute goal is the difference in this match right now as the Cuse are up 2-1. And Chifamba will come back in the match, it looks like. And there is the aforementioned Johnson on the ball in the channel. 1v1 with Sandy Jr. Good ball. Out off his line is Mannion. Ooh, he took a little bit of a shot there, but he's no worse to wear. Well read. Trimnell can't control it. Gomez plays another one on the channel. Parrish on it. Oyagunle to greet him. Ball's back to the feet of Gomez. Chifumba's pass left a little short, and Smart just ran up on by Kalov. And flag is coming, and Kalov steps over him completely unnecessarily.
Begged for it a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Have a look at me after the assault that was.
And Smart's been very good in this game, the freshman. He had the assist on the goal, his first career point.
I told you about him. He doesn't make a ton of mistakes. He's also not super flashy. I'm sure that in a lot of situations, especially right now, being down 2-1, Mike Noonan would like him to step up a bit further, but it's that right foot. Just gets stuck up underneath him, stepped on, taken down. You've lost one of your 8s in Derek Wolof. You've lost your, I don't even know what number to put on Usman Silla.
Silla does, as Coach said to us before.
He does what he wants to do.
He does what he wants to do. And the guy is the leading points guy in along with tied for the top with Rold Mitchell in the ACC.
Hamidi Diop out. That's for a couple of games now, but you still lose him. You're rotating your goalkeepers. Chifumba just went down. Now all of a sudden, you're starting outside back, and this game does not look
good.
Very good in that situation. The good news is you do have a quality replacement in Enrique Montana on the bench. And this is just starting to get to a spot where Mike Noonan's looking around going, what do I have to do? 6-0, losing all of that, finding a way to win, and up against it here tonight. He'll come directly in.
And now see Enrique Montana joins the fray, the right back. And he has quite a bit of experience in that position. His 25th appearance here for the redshirt junior. 6th of the season. Started 3 games. Him and Smart had kind of been sharing time. But that'll be Montana's spot. The Duval, Washington native, grew up in the Seattle Sounders Academy. Played with Seattle 2, Tacoma team. Take a look at the goals package. Here's how we're here right now.
It certainly wasn't a bad start for the Clemson Tigers.
This was bad.
Yeah, this was
comedy of errors.
I still don't understand. You know, as you look through sort of their resume over the course of the season so far, the only time that Clemson have conceded is when they've given it to the opposition, as opposed to really been broken down and beaten. And that's not the case here tonight. You know, the opening one you give away, but there have been just so many chances, right? Krzyzewski takes advantage of it 10 minutes after. Isaiah Reed opens the account on the night. Levante Johnson. They've changed the entire way that they've played, certainly given themselves a ton of opportunities. I still maintain the fact, though, Dallin, 27 minutes to go. Clemson's still within striking distance. I don't care how good you've been. It's all you're looking for is one little moment, right? You could say the same thing to Indiana when they were here first game of the season, right?
You took the words out of my mouth. They did score first in that game. Hold on, there's an opportunity to cross. Low ball played in. Good fight at the front stick, and Lundegaard wins. But Indiana scored first that match. Eventually got to 2-2 after Clemson went up 2-1. And who was it? It was Usman Silla,
yeah.
just pulling out something special from outside the 18 that gave them the 3-2 win, his second goal of the night.
What's more concerning is that the opportunities are still coming. Now, I understand that this is a one-off on the near post, but you've got so many options here if you're Syracuse in the way that you're breaking this team down.
Outswinging ball headed out by Say. Monte Johnson can't bring it under control. Trimnell in some space, brings out Schoberg, who's on a yellow. Trying to get in line on that right foot. And out for a corner.
The other thing that you've gotten tonight is when there have been balls that have not even broken you down, but provided Clemson a luxury to start to get forward. Look at the patience defensively. Ian McIntyre said to his guys, we're going to get beat. Don't dive in, though. Do not leave your feet. Stand up, and don't worry. You'll have help coming. That's everything that's gone on here tonight, that even when it has broken down, they've slowed down the thought process, used the sideline and end line to their benefit, and allowed the support to come from behind to give them the advantage defensively.
Elton Chifumba just checked out of the match. Dylan Sullivan in for him. He can come back in, but remember, he just injured himself a little bit too. Ball played short. You're new to college soccer, you get 1 second half re-entry if you leave in this half of the match. Mohamed Say trying to dance out of the big fella's got good feet. And deflects off his teammate and down to Nathaniel Opoku. Oh, okay. Opoku looking for some help. Gets a switch in there. Well done. Over to his strike partner, Levante Johnson. The man that right now has the game-winning goal in this match. There he is, Johnson on it. Skips it forward. Gives it, shot deflected by Skinner. Falls to Strobeck. He's got pace. He's running into space. Running out of room right now. And he draws the foul. Off comes Sheely to collect. We talk about missing guys. In the beginning of the show, we said Isaiah Reed and Mohamed Say, who's tracking on the ball here, have to step up. Reed did get the first goal of the match. Hold that thought. Strobeck into the channel. Wheels past Oyagunle. Lays it off for Sullivan. Trimnell. Trimnell goes down. No call. Kevin Morrison says, get up.
I didn't see it either, and it looked to me he was already leaning right at the tail end of it. Just watch the head. Nothing at all. Doesn't catch him on the right leg. Continues the run going forward. Feels like the contact was going to come second time around. The referee's right there. It's a good call.
Krzyzewski, who opened the scoring for Syracuse, comes out. He makes way for Lorenzo Baselli. What I was going to say, how do you get Mohamed Say more into this match? Because right now Clemson's going to need that down a goal, and Syracuse has really held him under wraps.
The problem is it's not him. It's all the other players around him. A really good look at a second ago when the ball came back through. You talked about how Strobeck had come running back across. The two runners took off the other direction. Two schools of thought. They're dragging runners with them.
Mannion comes off, heads it out.
Which is great. The problem is it's still the argument of the support. So you've got two of your attacking options going to the far side of the field. As Strobeck's coming to the near side right in front of the camera, there's no one to help him. One of which was Mohamed Say.
Last touch, a little too much there, goes out. As we mentioned before, this Clemson team under Mike Noonan, 125-8-8 when they are scoring first. The last time they lost was when? Do you have any guess? It's a big game. They lost after scoring first. It's the Aflac trivia question. I'm the bear now all of a sudden, a little before game day.
Marshall?
It's a good guess, not it. It was November 17th, ironically my birthday, the ACC final against UVA. They went up 1-0, they ended up falling. I believe James Brighton scored the goal in that match to open the account.
Oh, that game was...
And then three goals rattled off by UVA as they won that ACC tournament. And then that UVA team went on to lose in the national championship in a wild game against Georgetown.
I was sitting at the Aloft Hotel in Louisville watching that game. Funny how those things stick with you, right?
It is weird. I'm surprised you just gave a I remember where I was moment there.
Yeah.
Well, impressive.
Doesn't happen often. Throw me out yet either. Middle of the day. Who knew?
Almost 3 years ago. Oh, feathered through nicely. Baselli runs onto it. He's 1v1 with Titus Sandy. And his pass behind. Pulled back Kalov, who the crowd let him hear it now. Oh, good little reverse pass. Oh, Singleman tattooed it, but just, you don't like that when the shot goes out for a throw. From our angle, it looked like it was going to come off a little better than that.
Again, I go back to, though, even if they can step on this, the field and the separation that is created as quickly as they move in transition. Right, Syracuse moves through the ranks. Nobody's dropping back here. That entire front three has just isolated themselves from everyone. There's a 40-yard gap here, and that's saying something. Like, this ball coming out now, that's a 25-yard ball on the ground, and then all of a sudden you're trying to get lucky, go direct.
What a ball by Strobeck. Trimnell may be in here. Trimnell riding the challenge. Kevin Morrison says no foul, and the freshman is upset. Look like clean, fair play from up here. Your thoughts?
I have no issue with it. And if you are going to go direct, at least you get the diagonal we were calling for, right?
Trimnell on it again. Leaves it for Gomez. Still Gomez. Driving. Gets the shot off to flex out. He had the right idea. Gomez already showing hustle. Ran out to the corner to take it quickly. Ooh, opportunity there for Say, but he couldn't quite get much on it. And teed up, and the shot goes out wayward.
Remember, I said to you that if you are going to go and play up over the top, these diagonals have to be more fluent. Really good job. You drag runners with you, and then all of a sudden it's the back post run. And remember, Christian Curdy, that's an out-and-out outside back on a back three, who's working himself into this hybrid role where he's playing on the 4, he's still pushing upside. He's tracking players all over. He's coming to the inside, that inverting right back that has become so popular in the modern game.
Good flick by Strobeck. Tries to be in the path of Say. Oh,
handball.
Gomez, yeah, got away with the handball there. Over the top. Can Strobeck track this thing down? He does. He's got his head up, and Say was cleared out in the middle of the box. No call. Trimble heads it down. That probably would have been Say if he wasn't on the floor. 17 and change to go. Things are heating up. Back and forth we go.
Smart ball.
Pinged out to Calov. He cuts inside. Still Calov. He'll take a shot. Mannion there, equal to the task. Say trying to battle with Schoberg. He leaves it for Shealy. Shealy's clearance not good. This game is heating up, as are things in Pittsburgh right now. NC State up on 10th ranked Pitt 1-0. Josh Lucchini lights the lamp in the second half. Notre Dame is up 1-0 against UVA. Wake and Virginia Tech tied at 0-0 at halftime. BC and Louisville tied at 1-1. This conference is so competitive as Isaiah Reed checks back in the match for Trimnell, the freshman. Brandon Parrish also makes way as well. Elton Chifamba does come back in the game, and he's on the ball.
Gomez, this guy right here, he's feeling it right now. Quick feet. Just head up the entire time, always wanting to attack, just hoping he can drag some players with him.
Dylan Sullivan over to Say. Play back to Sullivan. Played through, and just too much on it. Skinner was making the run forward.
Feel the energy?
Yes.
From everything. It's the stadium, it's the players. When you start to get in and you just feel like the game's not going your way. I mentioned about a 35-minute mark. You got to find a way to persevere through it and just will yourself to the end line. They're doing it right now. The response over the last 5 to 10 minutes has been great from the Clemson Tigers.
If you're Syracuse, how do you manage that?
I stick with what I've been doing because they're still giving themselves an option to go the other way. Now, they don't need it, but that also helps kill time. Moments like this, step on the ball, be smart. They have gotten away from some of the interplay. They've gotten a lot more direct. So the balls that are coming back through, they're immediately trying to attack goal in situations where they don't necessarily need to. You can step on it a little bit here and make Clemson chase more than we saw earlier.
Caleb on it, Singleman to his left, Opoku to his right. He'll cut inside again on that right foot. Wheel back out. Talk about killing time. About 35 seconds they've wasted in this possession here, basically.
Well, it's also, when you have it, they don't.
Yeah.
They're chasing, right? Let the ball do the work. Simple touches, get around guys, you get a little flick here and there, I'm with it. But if you step on it and maintain possession, it's a lot harder defensively to chase guys, to morph your shape, and find a way to get back on the ball than if you've got it at your own feet, dictating the tempo of the game.
Low ball driven in.
Oh, watch
bad
out.
Collision there as Say ran through on Schoberg. And they're actually calling the foul on Schoberg. And he's the one that still remains down.
Foul called against Syracuse.
And Schoberg is on a yellow, mind you. And that was a pretty dangerous looking collision. Did he win he get the ball first, though?
Now, my argument would actually be the other way.
That's what I
don't
thought
understand how you're blowing the foul this way. I mean, the only thing that you could say here is that the studs are up from Schoberg. That's the only thing. But the leg is coming up from Say, but he's not brandishing the actual bottom of the shoe. That's the only thing that you can think about in that situation from the referee's viewpoint that would lean him into that call.
And I thought it from the same angle up here. I thought Schoberg won the race and deserved the foul called on Say there. But your good point with the studs up. Kevin Morrison, our center official. Lundegaard plays it long. Looking for Skinner, who will get there. Well done. And attempted cross goes off and out for a throw. A couple more subs getting ready to come on here for both squads. Clemson putting on some attackers now, trying to go for the win. Tristan DeLoach, sophomore that started, he'll check back in the match. 23, he comes in for Alvaro Gomez. He just said he's feeling it right now. Maybe a quick blow for Gomez. We'll see. And then Isaiah Easley, 29 in orange, freshman from Hawaii, checks in. And Giorgio Krzyzewski, who scored the opener for Cuse to tie the game at 1, he re-enters the fray for Noah Singleman.
Oh, watch the freshman and Easley. The naivety that can come along with a guy who has no clue what he's stepping into, right?
Princess Bliss. And offside, though, here, as DeLoach tried to get right into the mix. Mentioned Easley, he had no scholarship offers. Goes over to Valencia, Spain, a first La Liga team, and gets noticed there, ends up here at Clemson. He's taking a look.
He can run, he can play. Offside for short. But in these moments, you come in and you get an opportunity. He's played in every single game. It's not like he's had a massive influence on it as well, but this is also Noonan trying to build some of that depth and character within his squad, down 2-1 or not. You bring him in, go right at him. He's busy. I can remember him in the Indiana game. He came in and they were the better team at that point in time, but he's just fun. He's got a lot of energy, runs, creates a lot of separation between the two center backs, usually the way he attacks.
There he is right there, creating something out of nothing. Isaiah Reed takes the shot, and Easley actually wanted it back. He wanted him to lay it off to him. Should he have done that?
You're talking to a goal scorer who was the MVP of the College Cup final last year and his 2 goals, but it does come from Easley. He's the one who bounces down into the middle. He creates the contact. They win the 50-50 ball. The only issue you're going to have here is on the backside. If you slide it through to him, great recovery run by the midfielder and Anthony Sinclair coming all the way back.
Just over 12 minutes to go. Well done by Baselli. Skipping out of 2 orange jerseys. Pass deflected by Easley again. Falls to the feet of Chifumba. Under 12 minutes to play. Alongside Devin Kerr, I'm Dallin Cuff here from historic Riggs Field. Clemson went up 1-0 through an Isaiah Reed goal, but now find themselves down 2-1. Levante Johnson's goal in the 48th minute is the difference. And Baselli draws the foul on Enrique Montana. Both teams unbeaten. Clemson is #1 in the nation, has the perfect record of 6 games, 6 wins. Syracuse comes in at 5-0-1. Their 1 draw against Vermont. 2 top 25 wins over Penn State and Notre Dame, looking to make it 3. And a statement to the country, to say the least, if you come into historic Riggs Field, which they don't lose in often. Under Mike Noonan, 96-30 and 15 here. Last loss was last year's ACC semifinal against Duke, 1-0. But they protect this house. But right now, the Orange have been the better team, in all honesty. Flick on again. Johnson trying to ice this thing. Jumps up, hits him in the arm, and there'll be a handball called. Johnson is a handful. Great touch again by Opoku. Those two, their interplay between those two is quite special.
You know, we highlighted the two of them coming in because of obviously the goals that come along with them. Opoku, 2 goals, 4 assists. Johnson, 2 goals, 2 assists. But also the profile that they all bring. Ian McIntyre in this squad. Opoku, he's unpredictable. He can be different and amazing, but it's also hard to track him. Johnson is more direct. He's got a work ethic. He has showcased that to the umpteenth degree tonight. You know, operating primarily on that right-hand flank, but he's working back defensively. And then as you go through it, Pagano, another one. He's got 4 goals from 11 shots. That was last year. That's not too bad, right? That's efficient, is what we say in my home.
Yeah.
But his profile is a little bit different. He reaches for things. He makes you not be able to breathe, is what Ian McIntyre says. When he gets on that front line, it's the engine that keeps going. And then the coup de grace, Julius Rausch, says that he's the out-and-out best actual striker of the ball that they have. Funny enough, he's got the least amount of statistics, only 1 goal to his name, but all of that presents a different challenge. So it's the depth, but it's also the quality with different characters for Ian McIntyre and Syracuse up top.
Say battling 2 Syracuse defenders, and they win that battle. Kalov skipping past guys, drawing a foul. Under 10 minutes to go. Syracuse has really managed the game the last few minutes very well, controlling the ball more than the Orange. Johnson dancing on it. Oh, Kalov cleared out there, and Dylan Sullivan. No flag. Flag. What's wrong with me right now?
Throw a flag?
Jeez, it's the second time I've done that. I'm an idiot.
It is right at the top of the end zone, so.
Well done.
Left hash mark?
Yeah, there we go.
There's more time off the clock. You reach, though, as a player. You get deep down into the game. An opportunity presents itself. Now it can happen for a striker, a midfielder, a defender. In that situation, you're down in the corner. You feel like you have to reach to make that game-saving-ish tackle because it's 2-1. If you don't get there, all of a sudden the game's without an opportunity to get back into it. Can't blame them.
Could be dangerous here. Could they ice the game on the road? Clipped in. Oh, off the post. Back to Kalov again. Back on that right peg. Curling it again. This time floats it north of the crossbar. Let's take a look at this. Was it a save or post? I thought it was post, but I don't know.
I thought he got to it just because of the sound.
The sound?
Yeah. How cute do you have to be? Look at all the space on the near post. Oh, son, take a bow, my friend. Trevor Mannion, single-handedly in that situation, pun intended, but multiple times tonight, has kept this team in it.
Trevor Mannion, I am sorry. From deep in my heart, I said post, and I thought it was post. I was absolutely wrong. What a save. I didn't think he could get there. He keeps this as a 1-goal game and has made huge saves to maintain that disadvantage for the Tigers in this second half since Levante Johnson scored in the 48th minute.
How rude is it to even attempt it from this angle? Look at this thing, man. I mean, you're 5 to 10 yards inside the top of the 18, but notice it's only a 2-man wall.
Yeah.
Only a 2-man wall. You want to get around it, go direct, get a little English on it. It's certainly got enough pace. You could hit that 10 times on the training ground and 9 times it's going in. The 10th time, you're hitting the post. Goalkeepers never get into that.
Yeah. Under 7 minutes to go here. The #1 team in the nation on the ropes against the Syracuse team that would be sending, again, a serious message to the rest of the country of what they are capable of. And the way they beat Notre Dame and dominated Notre Dame in their first league game last week. And the way they also beat Penn State, who was ranked at the time. But this would be the big one. Still got 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go to get there. Tristan DeLoach taken out by Opoku. Montana rolls onto it, cuts back in. Good ball played in, backstick, Reed is there! Just didn't get much purchase on it.
A little surprised that he doesn't go near post here. Because of the ball that's lofted in, it's trailing away from the player. To bring this back across goal, you take a lot of sting off of the ball. So as he heads it down, you've already tried to redirect it, which is going to take some of the momentum off, and then you head it into the ground, which is a textbook header. But if you go down, you have to challenge the goalkeeper to the near post, and your body is trying to figure out a way. I don't blame him for going that direction, but if that thing is whipped in with pace, that's the perfect execution. The problem is there's not enough on it, and that's why it's easily collected by the goalkeeper.
Wow. Well done by Montana to play that ball in there and get the opportunity. Curdy on it. Skips past Deloach. And he will earn a corner from it. 5 minutes to play. If you're Mike Noonan, you're looking for it. When do you start? Do you start to just throw men forward? Are we going to go route one? What do you think has to happen?
I've never been the biggest fan of that.
Yeah.
You know, just knock it up and run and
just throw Peter Crouch out there and go ahead.
You do whatever you can. I mean, the whole reason that you're successful is because there's a process within the way that you implement it into your attack. And you're going to say in the most important parts of the game, all bets are off. Just throw haymakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a time and place if it's a set piece and you throw all your bodies up, that's one thing. But you know, you can still play right now. There's 5 minutes to go or just inside. You can put the ball on the deck and still ask a lot of the questions. The way that some of these guys have been playing, you know, Enrico Montana we saw a second ago. We've seen some good stuff on the front line from some of the substitutes. You know, Strobeck did well for a while, but Isaiah Easley has come in. I don't like veering away from the reason that you find success in the first place.
Easily dispossesses. And Syracuse controlling the ball, trying to end this thing. Under 3:30 to go. And again, if you're just new to college soccer this year, you're just joining, there is no overtime anymore in college soccer. It is only 90 minutes in regular season games. So really, Clemson is chasing a point here. At best, most likely. See if they take it for a ride to the corner. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen here. The clock is now your biggest enemy. Yep. Undergard now will step forward with it. The center back striding forward. He's taken out heavily. And while we have a minute, earlier I maybe gave you the head fake. Pitt is up 2-0. NC State I said was up 1-0. Pardon me. It was 2-0. Now through 2 Josh Cicchini goals, 12 minutes left. Last time Syracuse beat a #1 team in the nation, October 14th, 2000. UConn. Back when UConn was a powerhouse. Trying to make history here for the program. And an unnecessary foul.
I was still in high school.
So was I.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
Wow.
Parrish is over it. 2 minutes to go. Curled in. Say with the header back stick. Oh, wow. Sheely on it. From this angle, looked like it might have had enough to get into that corner.
This one is a little different because there's plenty behind it. Just as he rises, you know, I was about to say to you, it looked like he took it off his shoulder, which he did. Just mistimes it.
Turned over, and Parrish was trying to play it first time to Easley, but didn't make the connection he wanted to. 90 seconds to go. Syracuse's bench is up. Counting them down. Poku brings it down nicely. .60 seconds to go. Say heads it down. Chifamba can't bring it down. Devontae Johnson looking for Poku to hold it up, and he does that. Nice pass over to Kalov. 45. He'll take it for a walk. Head to the corner. Off of Titus Jr. and
that's just, if that's not the representation of what this team has been all night long. Everything game planned from start to finish. Seeing it last night firsthand, watching their video breakdowns and going the full 90 here. Doesn't matter where it's been on the field. Every single player has done their job.
Well, we said it before. Clemson under Mike Noonan, 125, 8-8 when scoring first. They scored first in tonight's match, and that's about to change. 125, 9-8. Syracuse walks into historic Riggs Field and knocks off the #1 team in the nation. Congratulations to Coach McIntyre and crew. Devin, your thoughts?
Don't put an asterisk next to it just because guys were out.
Yeah.
I understand that it could have had an effect on the game, but there is still a tremendous amount of talent on this team for the Clemson Tigers. Plain and simple, you got outclassed tonight. You got beat. Another team wanted it more. They changed their tactics. You didn't have an answer for it. And as the game went on, the intensity started to raise. You couldn't keep up with it. Syracuse deserves